welcome to Collider Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Sinead DeFries, and this is the daily show where we bring you the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Joining us this morning is your Collider Movie Talk crew. First up, senior producer Jon Campea.
Well, hot damn, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you from right here at the Collider Video Studios here in Burbank, California, and we are so delightfully pleased you've decided to join us today.
Also here is writer-director Jon Schnepp.
Fluff, Reese's, it's all the same, guys. That's all I gotta say about that. What's up? It's Wednesday.
And also here, it's Mark Ellis.
Hey, everybody. I have never had fluff, but I've had a lot of Reese's, and I'm thinking about combining the two for one.
Did he just speak in allegory?
I think
Did
he
he
did.
just totally speak in allegory?
Great taste that taste great together.
Hey, I got to tell you guys about something I did last night. Stupid little story about me. But last night, for those of you who watch our Flash recap show, you noticed that I wasn't on it because I was lucky enough that Disney invited me and Ann to go to the world premiere last night of their new Pixar film, The Good Dinosaur. Woohoo. And while I'm not giving a full review of it, I got to tell you, I went into it pessimistic. Delightful film. Really nice film. Really going to have a good time watching that. But here's the funny part. You got to understand, I have sat down with George Lucas. Several occasions I've spoken with Harrison Ford. I've sat across with Nicole Kidman, and you name it. I don't get starstruck per se. However, the one person that I have seen at several parties and whatever, and usually I'm with Ann at the time, that I never have the guts. I have not once ever had the courage to go up to and say hi to, say, man, I really appreciate your work. I'm not kidding. This isn't a joke. Is Weird Al Yankovic. So last night, I know I've never had the guts to go up and talk to Weird Al Yankovic. I've never had the guts.
I love where this story's going.
So last night we're sitting in the El Capitan Theater waiting for. We got who's the dude from 90210 that's now in Sharknado?
Ian Ziering.
Ian Ziering sitting here. Mario Lopez is sitting here.
Wow.
Who's the girl who played Rogue?
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin is sitting right behind. Blah blah. Whatever. And who comes and sits basically in front of us? Weird Al Yankovic. And the whole time, Anna's like, John, it's time. It's time. It's fine. Because she's always giving me a hard time that I will not go up and talk to Weird Al Yankovic. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I almost did it. And then some guy came up, because he was sitting, I think, with his either his wife or his girlfriend and his daughter or something like that. And some guy came up asking him to autograph something. I thought, you know what? He's had a movie premiere. Don't want to bother him. Maybe if I run into it at the party. So then later, we're walking around the theater after the movie's done. And then we get on the escalators. We have to go like 4 sets of escalators to go to a party. And then we realize who's standing one step in front of me on the escalator, but Weird Al Yankovic. And I'm like, I can't do it. I wanted to talk to him so bad.
Yo.
I just couldn't bring myself to talk to Weird Al Yankovic. And then Ann's giving me a hard time. She's making fun of me. Oh, you don't have any guts. You go up to. And then we walk into the party, and the very first person we see is Ann's all-time favorite basketball player, Reggie Miller. And
Reggie Aloysius Miller was there?
Yeah, he was there. And I'm like, go talk to Reggie. He goes, I can't. So it was a whole night of lost opportunities of talking to people.
Wait, so this ends with you not talking to Weird Al?
The story ends with me being a gutless coward and not having the guts to go up and talk to Weird Al Yankovic.
We're going to rectify this. I've played Weird Al and beat him in pool. I beat him and Emo Phillips hopping the 8,
really?
Son. That's right. Had witnesses. We'll intro you to
I
him.
just can't believe, out of all the people, the one guy
That's just amazing that Weird Al hangs out with Mario Lopez, Ian Ziering, and Anna Paquin. You knock out 90210, Saved by the Bell, A Mutant, and Weird Al. That's my entire childhood right there.
All right. Wow. Well, hey, listen, folks, as happens sometimes, after we wrote the show notes and everything, another piece of movie news dropped, and we knew it was coming today. We just didn't know it was going to come this early. But the first trailer for not Snow White and the Huntsman, the sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman. I got Weird Al on my mind now. The Huntsman, Jurbly Jobbly. What's the name of the movie again?
It's the Huntsman Winter's
War.
Yeah.
Huntsman Winter's War actually dropped. John, you had a chance to see that trailer. What did you think of the first trailer for Huntsman?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You know, they showed the little snippet teaser of the trailer yesterday, and we saw that, and it was like, that looks cool. There's little snippets. The posters were out by all of the cast. And then seeing the film, it's like, it's my version of Frozen that I'll actually like. There's no singing involved, as far as I know. They're not breaking out into song. It looks great. I really like that it's these two crazy evil sisters, and they have an entire army, and it's just these two people who are going to have to fight them. I don't know, maybe they have their own separate army, but the special effects look really cool. I liked Emily Blunt's freezing powers. So everything about it looked really fun. So I 1,000% can't wait to see this. I like this better than Gods of Egypt.
What?
What?
I know.
Really?
Pretty crazy.
The trailer, at any
Yeah, the
rate.
trailer.
I mean, Look, we talked about this the other day. I did not like the Snow White and the Huntsman, although I had hopes for this new one. It's a great cast and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the trailer for me exceeded my expectations. I thought it looked like they're amping up the action a little bit. The visual effects looked really well used. I love Emily Blunt. I just think she looks great. I love her anything. And look, take this as it will. We're talking about an actress who should be focusing on her talent and what she can do, but I cannot help it on a visceral level. Oh my God, Charlize Theron's so hot. Holy crap, she's so hot. Like and she's dressed as an evil queen as she turns her head in the gold and it's got that, and that one scene when Chris Hemsworth tries to shoot the one queen and Charlize Theron catches and turns her face to him. Like, I've been looking forward to seeing you. I'm like, oh my God, it's just like, it's criminal how beautiful and like completely world-renowned, talented, all-in-one package that woman is.
Oscar-winning.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
Probably because she's South African. I'm just gonna throw
Just
that.
wanted to throw that. You had to go
I wonder
there.
who else is South African at the table here. Wait a minute.
Really, the trailers from that last visual effect too, where she's like got all those guys in front of her and she's like these spiky tentacles go out and like
it's crazy.
skewering them all. I thought it was a really fun trailer, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right,
Mark?
so Charlize Theron and Will Arrow at a bar. Who are you talking to first? Who are you more nervous to strike up a conversation with?
That's tough. That's tough.
I actually like the 15-second teaser a little bit better than this one. This one, I'm still excited to see the movie. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's a lot better when you trade in Kristen Stewart and you gain an Emily Blunt and a Jessica Chastain. That is like the best GM of all time. However, the trailer just didn't really captivate me. I liked a couple of the action sequences. I wanted to see more of Jessica Chastain's character because that's a lot of badassery going on there where she is going to be the key because Chris Hemsworth, as great of a huntsman as he is, he ain't going to be able to take down both Emily Blunt and Charlize Theron by himself. He needs help, and Jessica Chastain is going to be that help.
Have you seen his pecs?
I have seen his pecs.
Saying.
He might have the best hair in the whole damn trailer.
He does have great hair, doesn't he?
It's amazing. There's Pantene all over that set. So I'm ready to see the movie. I just didn't love the trailer. I wasn't overwhelmingly like glowing about it. I liked it. It didn't like. I don't want it to give away too much of the story, but I'm watching that, and as somebody who doesn't know the lore that well, I'm like, wait, okay, so this queen's back now, and then this is her sister apparently. It was just a little too muddled for my taste.
All right, Ellis went on his hate rant, but he just reminded me
It
of
wasn't a
something.
hate rant. That was a lukewarm rant.
The one thing
Somebody
that
make a meme for me of Ellis hate rants.
they hated it more than Gods of Egypt last night yesterday. But the one thing that his rant just reminded me of was like the Thor. They kept cutting away to Chris Hemsworth doing like those Thor throwing, and instead of a hammer, it was an axe. But that's the one thing that I didn't like. I was like, everything else about the trailer was great, but all the shots of Chris Hemsworth, he just had a little quip to say, and then it cut away to him throwing and looking like Thor.
And like doing that behind the back stuff. Like if you're attacking Chris Hemsworth, from history I know this, do not form a circle around him.
That's right.
Just find another way to get at
That's
him.
a bad
Correct me if
idea.
I'm wrong, but I believe he had no lines in the trailer until near the end when they said, "Are you going to take on two evil sisters?" Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that was his only line.
And he
he's
said it
the
like
huntsman.
Thor. He did it
And
like
he said it like Thor. All right, folks, let's get on to the first official story today.
Some time ago, it was announced that a reboot was being planned for Tomb Raider, hot on the heels of the video game franchise itself rebooting. Things have been extremely quiet on the Tomb Raider front ever since the announcement. However, that changed today. According to a report in The Hollywood Reporter, a writer and a director have been picked for the new film. The report claims that Norwegian filmmaker War Uthag and Transformers 5 writer Geneva Robertson-Dworet have been brought on to direct and write, respectively. John, what do you think of the choices of writer and director for the new Tomb Raider film?
It's hard to have any feelings about it whatsoever. You have a director who's never done a Hollywood film, but he has directed a number of films before, but nothing that's ever been North American or Hollywood or wide release or anything like that. So it's tough to say. Maybe he's a really super talented guy and they've recognized the talent in him and they're giving him that shot. It's also a writer who's never written anything that's ever been on any screens before. Now, granted, she's doing Transformers 5, which I don't know if that, swells up in you an ocean of confidence. But so it's really difficult to say. I mean, you're rebooting this franchise. You'd think you'd want to go when you're talking about the writer and the director, you might want to go a little bit more seasoned in one or the other, but they're going this way, and I guess we'll have to see. So at this point, I'm totally ambivalent to it. I mean, I don't know anything about the director really to have an opinion. I don't really know anything about the writer because we've never seen anything she's putting on screen before. So I'm completely down the middle on this. Mark, what about you?
Well, Roar Uthog is my favorite death metal band, so you got to get excited about that name alone. The fact that he's directing this movie, again, I don't have enough of a sample size. He did a movie called The Way, which I've never seen. He's done a few films that I haven't witnessed in person, so I don't know if he's the right director for Tomb Raider, but somebody out there thinks he is. Now, when you see somebody who we haven't heard of before, and they're directing kind of a big movie like Tomb Raider, it's either, oh, they really believe in him, or the studio thinks it's somebody they can kind of mold into what kind of film they want to make, as opposed to hiring somebody who's so big that they can just go off and do whatever they want. I don't know if that's the case yet, but the fact that this person wrote Transformers 5, we haven't seen Transformers 5 yet, but it actually gives me confidence that she can handle Tomb Raider. If you can handle Transformers 5 and all the stuff that's gone on with that franchise, and trying to get that franchise, trying to inject some new life into that franchise before Michael Bay ruins the script, it might be a really good one. So she might be the right choice to do Tomb Raider.
Now, Schnepp, is it just me, or is the director Roar Uthog not sound like he's like the chieftain of the Orc clan in Warcraft?
No, we were talking
like
about
that?
this before the show. It's like, I want to send his parents like a congratulatory letter.
Roar
Like, you
Uthog.
just named your kid the coolest name of it. Roar Uthog. You're saying like
first
he had
name
to learn
is
how to
Roar.
fight. Yeah, your first name is Roar.
That's incredible. They must love that Katy Perry song.
Yeah, that's right. It's a so. I think it's it's a cool chance that they're taking. I agree. It's like all of his films were made in Norway, and I don't think any of them are even available on Netflix or Hulu for any. It's like, I don't know how you could see a Roar Uthog movie, but I want to see one now just so I can be like, all right, I know why they hired this guy to direct it. So there's got to be something there that the studio that's behind Tomb Raider was like, look, let's get Roar Uthog instead of just his name being awesome. That's like that dude. What was that guy who made all the Taken movies? Megaton. There's a directed
Megaton,
by Megaton. You're like, what is that? A creature? What is a robot directed it? Yes, a wheel-in Megaton. It directs things. Now we've got the strange orc-like ape creature named Roar Uthog. He will finish Tomb Raider. So, and I think you're right by saying the people, just because she's writing a Transformers movie, she's got some other movie that's in production called Hibernation, but nothing that we've seen yet. So, but the way they redid, and they had that writer's room of like everybody who's talented, like Stephen DeKnight. They had all these different people like throwing their ideas into the Transformers universe or whatever. And I think she's part of that spin out of all those talent meetings. So, I think a reboot of Tomb Raider is way overdue, and it sounds like let's get Roar Uthog and Geneva on the case.
I loved his short stint in Slipknot, by the way.
That's
All
right.
What's next?
Get ready to be really, really ridiculously good looking again. The first trailer for the upcoming Zoolander 2 has hit the web this morning, giving us our first real look at the upcoming sequel. The film features Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Penelope Cruz, Christine Taylor, and Kristen Wiig, and it opens in theaters on February 12th. Mark, what did you think of the new Zoolander trailer?
I thought it was ridiculous, stupid, and it made me laugh a fair amount. I'm fairly excited for Zoolander 2. I like when a trailer doesn't give away too many jokes. This one definitely did not. Some of the jokes, I'm like, they're kind of forcing it a little bit here. But some other things really made me laugh a lot. The Justin Bieber thing was hysterical to me. I was on the floor laughing watching that. And Sing Mugatu at the end of the trailer, that's what sold this movie for me. I was already like, I like Zoolander. I like watching the first one a lot. It's so ridiculous, but it made me laugh like consistently. I don't know that this one's going to do that. The plot seems just so far-fetched, but that's what you kind of want from a Zoolander. You don't want them just modeling again. You want them trying to save the world from people who are trying to kill beautiful people. It's so dumb it makes sense for Zoolander.
Was it? You might have mentioned it before, but was that Benedict Cumberbatch?
That was Benedict Cumberbatch as all.
As
I am all.
That was killer. And this suddenly watching the trailer made this video I saw of Ben Stiller last night make sense. Ben Stiller put out this tweet or something, or what might have been an Instagram video of him listening to the new Justin Bieber album, and just with headphones going, "This is the greatest album of all time." Like he's like talking about. Now it makes total sense.
Right.
I thought this trailer was fantastic. It was perfect Zoolander. I mean, I remember the first. I've been looking forward to this movie. Everybody knows that. But that first teaser came out, and I was one of the only guys in the world who did not like it. I thought it was just stupid. And of course, stupid is supposed to be a part of what the world of Zoolander is, but it just felt stupid to me. Whatever. I like the first posters came out. This trailer, that shot though, with Will Ferrell's walking out of the prison as Mugatu, and he's got the muscle bodybuilder suit on. I just cracked up. And then he's making his face. That dude who plays Mugatu's assistant. What I keep forgetting the guy's name, the assistant's name, but he has not aged a day. That dude, the black bald dude who plays the assistant, he has not aged a minute. He looks exactly the same. I thought that was crazy. But yeah, I thought it felt like a Zoolander movie. It felt like a Zoolander plot. The trailer made me laugh. Everything I could have hoped for. So yeah, big thumbs up for me.
And now you can watch this and Zoolander. You could trade off because you watch Zoolander all the time.
I watch it all the time.
Now you're going to have a second Zoolander film. This looked fantastic. I agree. I laughed throughout the entire thing. Unexpectedly extra funny for me because I was like, I thought Zoolander was really funny. It's not in my top 10 comedies, but this consistently every single little scenario that they set up in the trailer had a payoff and it made me laugh. So Kristen Wiig, just the weird,
she looks so
good. Just her character alone, I can't wait to see. I want to see this movie immediately, because it really right down to the Mugatu, and then his smile, just everything about it is satisfying, and it was great to see all these characters from Zoolander back, and I think it's going to be better than the first Zoolander. That's what it feels like. It feels like everyone was like, it's old home week, but let's plus it, let's make it funnier.
That's I'm so glad I'm off the hating trailers bandwagon now. I finally, because for me, it'll go the Zoolander trailer and then the Huntsman trailer, then way down here is way under my shoes is Gods of Egypt.
All right, folks, we'll reach that part of the show now for buy or sell. Here's how it works. In front of her, Sinead's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to round them down. And those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Sinead, what do we got?
As many of you know, a Merlin Saga film based on the popular book series by T.A. Barron has been in development for years. First over at Warner Brothers and now at Disney, and it appears that the project now has an Academy Award-winning writer on board. According to reports, writer Philippa Boyens has joined the project. Boyens is best known for working with Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh on all 6 Middle-earth films, as well as on King Kong and The Lovely Bones. Schnepp, do you buy or sell the addition of Philippa Boyens as the writer for the Merlin Saga?
I definitely buy it. I mean, she's got the cred. She's done all the Tolkien books and a bunch of other. She's worked with the Peter Jackson clan for her whole career. So this feels like it's her first breakout role, but still within the realm of mythology. We were kind of checking out this Merlin Saga. I was like, how many are there? And at first it was like, there's 5, there's 11. They all have weird color, divergent covers where it's like, I'm a dragon, I'm a weird orange specter, I'm a purple thing inside of a crystal. So if you look at all of them, you're like, all right, Arthur better be in there somewhere. So I don't know exactly how they play this Merlin Saga out. So I'd like to look into it a little bit more, but it sounds exciting. You have a writer who can really do a really good justice to especially a trilogy or a big amount of books adapting them. So I think it's good.
It's cool seeing the differences in approach here because whereas one, you got Tomb Raider, you get a writer that's nobody's ever seen anything from, and a director. Now, granted, though, they do have a director named Roar Uthog, so that's got that going for it. But so what did they do for this brand new Merlin franchise? Let's go get an Academy Award-winning writer. And and I saw some discussions online today about no, she was just always writing on. She's never done anything herself. She's always writing on Peter Jackson's coattails. How do you know it wasn't her doing the hefty load of the writing? Why do you think Peter Jackson, everything he did, he had to have her with him?
Totally.
Why do you think that's the case? So I think this really bodes well. I'm looking forward to seeing, and I agree with what you said completely. It's going to be cool seeing her now transition doing something without, the regular group of people she usually works with, but still staying within the mythological realm and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool move for her. Yeah. I think it bodes well for this franchise, so for me, it's a buy.
Yeah, she's worked with magic and mythology before, but also even more so than being an Academy Award-winning writer, she can adapt things that people love already. So people love these Merlin books. I think it's geared for younger people, and it's about a young Merlin. So if you can adapt Tolkien stuff and put it into Lord of the Rings and make people love what you did with that, then that is a huge buy for me, because if she's doing something like this, it means it's going to be able to appeal to a wider audience, because people loved Lord of the Rings. So many more people never read Lord of the Rings, watched the movies, and fell in love with them too. So maybe she can work the same magic with Merlin.
All right, what's next?
Every year at the Golden Globe Awards, the Hollywood Foreign Press presents the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which is given annually to a talented individual for outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment. It's been announced that this year's recipient will be none other than Denzel Washington. The actor has been nominated for acting Oscars 6 times in his career, with 2 wins. One for Best Supporting Actor in Glory and one for Best Lead Actor in Training Day. This year's Golden Globes will air on Sunday, January 10th. Mark, do you buy or sell Denzel Washington receiving this year's Cecil B. DeMille Award?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course. It's Denzel Washington, man. Of course. I'm surprised he doesn't already have one. This totally makes sense. He's great. He's one of the all-time greats. Denzel Washington is an amazing actor. He deserves every trophy that he could possibly fit on his mantle. What is my favorite Denzel movie of all time is all I was thinking about when you were reading that, and I really don't have one. I think it's maybe his best performance. I still think is either Malcolm X or The Hurricane. My favorite movie of his, probably Training Day or Glory, I think. Not Virtuosity.
No, it's hard to get away from Glory,
Right.
as one of them, and multiple Academy Award winner. You absolutely have to buy this Denzel Washington when you look at his body of work, and he's one of these actors. We often say this is when you can tell an actor is really special, where sometimes you can put him in mediocre to not so good films, and yet he really stands out still. Like Book of Eli to me is a good example of that. I didn't think that was all that good of a movie, but every second he's on screen, it's amazing. Then you get another little sweep under the rug movie that he did with Christopher Pine. What was it, Unstoppable or something like that? That train
movie.
I'm telling you, him and Chris Pine, they made that movie really good, and it's really underappreciated. I also think he's been doing these a lot lately, these underappreciated, but I think are quite good. Safe House with Ryan Reynolds. I thought that movie was much better than it got credit for, and a lot of that goes back to because of what Denzel brings, and I really like The Equalizer. I love what he did in The Equalizer. Can't wait to see him in The Magnificent Seven. It's hard. You'd be hard pressed to find a lot of people who'd be more deserving of an award like this. I don't think the Golden Globes do much right, but this is one of them. Their Cecil B. DeMille Award every year is actually something that's really cool that they do. I like it a lot, and they've picked a really good recipient this year. So thumbs up.
Yeah, I agree. All the movies you guys mentioned. Also Fallen. I don't know if you remember that body jumping devil movie.
Yeah.
That him and John Goodman just made that film. And I think my favorite performance that he was in, I was trying to remember it, John, if you scroll down a little bit, I think it's the devil in the, I think it's either
Devil in the Blue Dress?
Blue Dress?
Yeah.
Because in my mind I was like, is it Devil in the Red Dress?
1995, Devil in the Blue Dress.
Such a great adaptation of that book, and he just nailed that character so well. I just always remember him as that character, and he's an incredible actor, so it's long overdue.
You know what Denzel movie everybody tells me I need to see that I haven't seen, and you'll probably hate me for it, is Man on Fire. I've never seen Man on Fire, and I hear it's amazing.
It's a very good movie.
It took me a while to see it as well. So
But his performance in it is stupid.
I gotta
mean,
check
it's
it
just
out.
stupid good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
It was recently announced that Disney and Lucasfilm would not be screening Star Wars The Force Awakens for critic groups in time to meet their awards consideration deadlines in order to maintain the secrecy of the movie. However, one major body, AFI, has just announced that they are changing their eligibility rules this year in order to accommodate Star Wars. AFI was set to announce their annual Best 10 Films of the Year list on December 7th, but have now moved that date to December 16th. Star Wars will first show on December 14th at its premiere, and then to critics prior to its official opening date of the 18th. John, do you buy or sell the AFI moving its date to accommodate Star Wars?
Normally, I would sell in a lot of situations. Look, you have these groups and these organizations, you have the rules, and you shouldn't make exceptions for a movie just because it's a big movie. However, understand this. These rules are not made to make a film show it to you even if it's not prepared. What these rules are in place for is basically saying, yeah, your movie's got to be out, but your movie's got to be finished and done and ready to go. They have these eligibility rules and these time cutoffs to make sure you've got your film ready to go. That's not the issue with Star Wars The Force Awakens. Star Wars The Force Awakens is so secretive, and apparently they got some major spoilers in the movie. They don't want anything getting out. And so Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney made the decision we're not going to meet those eligibility requirements, so we're not going to screen this for critic groups. Now, what has been going around the internet lately, because I've been getting literally hundreds of tweets and Facebook messages about this, was some people heard this original story and they thought that meant that they weren't screening Star Wars for critics at all. And I try to tell people, no, that's not. No, they are going to do critic screenings for this movie. They're not doing critic group screenings for awards considerations. So there's a big difference. And they're probably going to screen it for critics probably on the 14th, 15th, things like that. So only a few days before the movie comes out because they're trying to keep this thing under wraps. Because that's the situation here, that it's not them trying to get around the rules. It's not that they're not going to have the film ready in time, but just that they're very protective of it and they're guarding it by not wanting to release it. In the case like this, and not just because it's Star Wars, but in a case like this, then I kind of applaud the AFI for making an adjustment to their bylaws and saying, okay, then we'll do the announcement later so we can have it in there if that's the case. Now, there's nothing saying that Star Wars Force Awakens will be on AFI's awards of one of the top 10 films of the year. It may not make it. It may not be good enough for it. I'm certainly hoping it's good enough for it. So it might be all much ado about nothing. But I buy it. I applaud the AFI for making a move like this. Mark, what about you?
I buy it. I mean, it'll be number one on the list. There's no way it won't be the best movie of 2015, if not of all time. And yeah, I like that they're aiming for, they're doing the right thing here because they're not trying to impress critics. Of course they want critics to love the movie, but they're thinking about the fans with this decision because they would rather have no spoilers get out and leak all over the internet and have people know what's going to happen in the movie walking into it. They want to keep it secretive. It's the right play. Their priorities are in order. I'm ready to send you off to college, Star Wars. You know what you're doing. You're a man now.
Schnepp, do you agree or disagree with AFI's move here?
I agree. I think it makes sense. I mean, I am going to probably want to sleep for 4 days after they screen it for critics because I don't want to know anything. So I'm going to probably just stay in bed and play Fallout 4 for 72 hours and then go see Star Wars.
Or you can finish watching Daredevil.
I'm going to do that this weekend. I shall have finished it this weekend. And I'll probably catch up on a lot of Flash too, guys. So, yes, I think it's a good move for the AFI, and I think they're going to be screening it for you guys are all going to see it a couple days, I'm sure.
Knock on wood, man. Don't just
it comes
guarantee
out for everybody. Just don't spoil it, or we'll kill you.
I will not say anything about that. I just want to see it on the 14th.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write out all the spoilers when I see it before Schnepp, and I'm going to sew them to the tops of his shoes. Just so for 3 days he can't look down. No matter where he's walking, he can't look down.
That's
no matter
horrible.
What.
That's just horrible.
All right, folks. So listen, it's that time. Since it is Wednesday, it's that time of the week for us to talk about Rewind, where we celebrate all the films that are celebrating their 10th and their 20th anniversaries, brought to you by our good friends at AMC Theatres. And this is a great week for celebrating the 10th and 20th anniversaries. We got some great films on this. First of all, turning 10 years old this week. I can't believe this. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Not the first, not the second, not the third, but as Sinead reminded me, the fourth film in the Harry Potter franchise turns 10 years old this week. Feel old yet? I do. Also opening 10 years ago this week is the great Johnny Cash biopic, Walk the Line, that garnered a couple of Academy Awards. Yeah. Turning 20 years old this week. Just a comedy I think is really underrated, really unappreciated, is the Michael Douglas, Annette Bening comedy, The American President. I thought that was good. One of the greatest video games, I'm sorry, this was a movie, GoldenEye. Also one of the greatest video games ever made, GoldenEye.
Definitely. And
on the not-so-classic, the Twins movie, It Takes Two. So, Schnepp, let's start with you. Which of these, there's some great ones on here. Which of these movies stand out to you the most?
Well, definitely for the 20 years old one, GoldenEye. Now, that was, I think, the best Pierce Brosnan James Bond. It's funny, I got into a big Bond discussion with a couple people yesterday about Spectre and where that falls, and then we just started going through all the different Bonds and which was their best, which was their worst. And for me, GoldenEye was one of the best, especially for Pierce Brosnan. I think that's the one that had Famke Johnson in it, right? It's the thigh-crushing femme fatale. Really fun and definitely an incredible video game as well. So, yeah, GoldenEye for me, the 20-year-old one. And then for the 10 years old one, Walk the Line really sticks out. Johnny Cash was an incredible performer. I got the chance to see him in concert.
Wow.
I love his. I've got a lot of his albums. I love his last cover series that he did, where covered Soundgarden and stuff like that. It was fantastic to hear that guy sing songs that you've heard from other people. So, Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon just completely crushed it as far as being able take those characters and bring this.
Reese won the Academy Award, did she not?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think she did.
So it's a fantastic film. I would highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. It's only 10 years old, so you should definitely see it.
Mark, which one stand out to you?
I mean, it's so cute. So you got Christy Alley, right? And then you have Steve Guttenberg. And I don't know if it's going to work out, but they have twins, and they hook them up together. God, it was a horrible movie to watch on a plane one time, which I did. GoldenEye's one that stands out for me. It was the first Bond movie I ever saw in theaters. I had friends who were really into Bond, and I just didn't. I don't know if I'd ever seen a James Bond movie, period, up to that point. Going to the theater and just seeing Pierce Brosnan on the big screen, he just encompassed everything that was James Bond before those movies got really silly with him in it towards the latter ones. Him and Sean Bean going back and forth, great in that movie.
Sean Bean was so good in that.
006.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And The American President, if you haven't seen it, don't worry. It's going to be on TBS or TNT in the next 3 hours. It's always on TV.
Spoiler alert, Sean Bean dies in the film.
Whoa, he always dies.
In The American President?
Yeah, just about any film you
In
put
It
him
Takes
in,
Two,
really.
the Olsen twins get him?
No, the one I got to draw attention to it again is The American President. This is a film I know a lot of you guys haven't seen yet, and it is a really nice film. Richard Dreyfuss kind of plays the evil politician bad guy who wants to take Michael Douglas's job as the president of the United States. As an interesting little note, Charlie Sheen, who is probably the most famous on-screen president
Martin
ever.
Martin Sheen.
Keep saying Charlie
You
Sheen,
gotta
don't
get Charlie off the brain,
I gotta
man.
get Charlie off the brain. Although Charlie did play the president in a movie once.
Machete Kill.
That's right, as Mark pointed out to us earlier today. So you got Sheen's playing, they're playing presidents all over the place. Anyway, Martin Sheen, of course, the most famous on-screen president of all time, playing President Bartlett in The West Wing for many, many seasons. He actually is in this movie as well, and he plays the chief of staff this time. So he's right in the White House, exactly where you want to be. Did he not also, wait a minute, did he not also play the president in the comic book movie, what's the one by McFarlane?
Martin Sheen did play the president.
Spawn, yes,
Yeah.
he also played the president in Spawn. There you go.
Wow.
So anyway, this is a really fun comedy. Check it out if you get the chance. And, obviously, Walk the Line is an award-winning thing. It's some of the most powerful performances, 1-2 punch with Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon going at it all at once. Check that out. So yeah, great week.
Sinead had a little info about the Goblet of Fire. What was that you were talking about earlier?
I can't. It's a spoiler alert.
It's 10 years old,
It's 10 years old now.
Well, I thought that we were serious because I was going to say that's the one that Robert Pattinson dies in.
Oh, yes. That's right. Twilight's Robert Pattinson
I just like hearing
dies in.
that. I don't know why.
Cedric.
It's just like playing Cedric. Playing Cedric the Entertainer. All right. All right, folks. That's Rewind for now. Now let's get to mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at collidervideo@gmail.com. Once again, that email address is collidervideo@gmail.com. Every day we take 1 or 2 questions from you guys there, but I'm also going to let you know, if you're watching us live right now, and we do the show live every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Los Angeles time, 2 p.m. New York time, you can tweet us in some live questions, and we're going to save a little bit of time at the end of the show to take your live questions as well. How do you get your question on the air? Tweet to us and make sure you're following us on Twitter at Collider Video. Sinead will pick out a couple of Twitter questions near the end, but for now, let's get to the mailbag. So, Sinead, what do we have?
David writes, my question is about Creed. The movie is a week away from release, and I've hardly seen any marketing apart from a couple of trailers. There hasn't been any interviews or TV spots. Even when I saw Spectre a couple of weeks ago, I saw no movie posters. Why is that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've actually seen a good amount of marketing for Creed myself personally. Now, I don't think I've seen junket interviews or anything like that yet. Maybe there's still an embargo on those until we get a little bit closer to the movie. Have you seen them online yet?
I haven't seen the junket interviews. No, I know Harloff talked to Sylvester Stallone and Michael B. Jordan, and he tells me about it every 5 minutes. I have seen a lot of TV ads for this, though. And I don't know, David, what channels you're watching on TV. I mean, I watch a lot of sports on TV, and it's all over, like ESPN, NFL Network, stuff like that. So I've seen a good amount.
There was a sponsor on the
aware.
UFC fights recently.
Right,
It's all over the place. Now, we are going to see it not tomorrow, or is it tomorrow?
It is tomorrow.
We're going to. Thank you, Wendy. We are going to go see it tomorrow, and we'll let you know what we think about it. But I've seen it. Shemp, have you felt a lack of marketing for Creed?
Well, I've been watching a lot of Three Stooges on TV Land, and I just really haven't seen any. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even have TV Land. But I've seen plenty of advertising for it. I mean, we live here in Hollywood. You'll see a couple of posters here and there. They just started it up. They usually do that whole street campaign where we'll see a bunch of Creed images everywhere in the next week or so. I don't know where you live, so maybe you won't see any Creed images. There's still probably a Frozen poster stuck somewhere, with some spray paint on it or something. I don't know. But I think it's getting its due. I know Gray Drake was there. They did a big junket thing. Like
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so they're gonna. It's all time released. These kinds of things. So it'll come out in about 3 or 4 days, like a couple days before the movie.
Or today. I got a feeling maybe today.
It might be a strategy just to kind of let the Hunger Games excitement, like, okay, let's have Hunger Games have its weekend and then release all that stuff, so you're not competing with that movie.
You get lost in that Hunger Games shuffle.
Yeah. You lose the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
Richard writes, greetings, Collider crew, and thanks for recommending Edge of Live, Die Tomorrow. Hey, that might have worked.
Edge of Live, Die.
My question is about CGI and how many movies tend to screw it up. I am consistently taken out of the fantasy of a movie when CGI backgrounds are in focus when they should not be. I mention this because I just saw a frame of Star Wars with an in-focus Millennium Falcon in the foreground and an in-focus engine from the Star Destroyer on Jakku in the background. Is it just me, or does this bother any of you? Would love to hear your thoughts, and may the Schwartz be with you.
No, and here's why it shouldn't bother you, actually, is because there is not, in filmmaking and in cinematography, there is not one lens that they use that has different depths of field and have certain focus. This is the focus point. If you have something in the foreground, everything in the background is blurred. No, there are other lenses they can use that perform different functions and do different things. It's up to the cinematographer and to the director about what they feel is important to the shot. What things do they want to draw attention to? What things do they want to be in focus? You'll see some movies where you'll have somebody in the foreground, like me, perfectly in focus, and just 5 feet behind them, it's all blurred. Like that's the depth of field that they use. But a lot of times, maybe in a certain cityscape shot, the director will choose that they want that building far in the background to also be in focus and to also be in shot. It's an artistic decision that they make from time to time. So when you're talking about shots like that with the Millennium Falcon flying by the Star Destroyer, and quite often the Millennium Falcon in the foreground is in focus as well as the wreckage of the Star Destroyer in the background being in focus, that wasn't a CGI screw-up. That was an artistic decision made by the cinematographer and the director and the visual effects supervisor. They decided we want attention to be on multiple things at once here, and therefore we want this sort of depth of field to be used. So it's not a mistake. It's actually just an artistic decision. Schnepp is a guy who's a filmmaker, all that kind of stuff. How would you answer that question?
Well, what the question is saying is the person who's asking the question doesn't like it, is basically what they're saying. They don't like, I want it to look like reality. I want you to be in focus and the background to be blurry. So, but that's just not how movies work. Movies work with like different directors, different cinematographers, different people, art directors, different compositors. Sometimes it could be the person who's compositing the Millennium Falcon who adds just a little bit of an extra lens blur, like a motion blur to it that adds that realism. We're like, thanks for adding that. It's a team effort. That being said, it's like I don't think it's an issue when everything's in focus or out of focus. What John just said is exactly right. It's the decision of the entire team, usually with the director first and then following down in that hierarchy of like how each shot is going to be seen. What you're saying is you don't like it when it's not realistic, like how real people see things. Like I'm focusing on this, the background should be blurry, but that's not how film is. So, that's just the answer.
Mark?
Are you guys saying the Falcon isn't real? Is that not? Am I learning something?
Star Wars land would suggest otherwise.
You guys make great points. You guys know a lot more about this than I do. I just know when I see a movie if it looks real or not. That's all I care about. And the trailers from Star Wars look amazing. I feel like I'm in that world. Whereas something like Gods of Egypt looks atrocious, and that CGI is horrific. So, Richard, if you didn't like the CGI in this, don't watch the Gods of Egypt trailer. You're going to hate it.
Mark Ellis, #hate rant.
Yeah, you just can't get off the hate rant today.
So much hate rant
Let me
today.
add a little extra gelatin to this hate rant. Also, another thing I'm guessing from the letter was that he's also saying, well, I've seen a lot of cheap special effects, and in that, when you have a lot of cheap special effects, they're being done so quickly that it doesn't matter if the background is blurry and the foreground. So it's like those are the decision-making process isn't there because the films are just being churned out. But I think with a movie like Star Wars or these bigger budget special effects movies, those decisions are usually thought through. Like this shot behind us, we see the Millennium Falcon is blurry as it's banking through some very clear kind of, broken down Star Destroyer. So that's a little extra flavor just to not hate on everything.
All right, folks. Well, I said we would leave some time to take your questions. For those of you watching us live, take some of your live questions, and we're going to do that right now. Once again, make sure you're following us on Twitter @ColliderVideo and tweet in questions to us. Maybe you'll see it pop up here. So, Sinead, what have you picked out today so far?
Alexander tweets, whatever happened to the Chris Pratt Cowboy Ninja Viking movie?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he got rolling on that one space one where he's in hibernation in a spaceship. Is it Jennifer Lawrence?
Passengers.
With Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer
yeah.
Lawrence, right. I believe that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was originally supposed to be Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron, I believe. I think that was the original cast for that, I believe. But at any rate, so he's been working on that. He's been working on The Magnificent Seven with the aforementioned Denzel Washington, which is coming out. So I have not heard that movie's been taken off the table, but it just might have to be waiting in line for the other stuff he's doing. Have you guys heard anything different?
No, but I'm assuming that if they do make it, it'll take about a week to shoot. You know, I don't think we've got $150 million. I think it'll be like, can you just be in these 4 scenes and we're going to shoot them all out? They're all in a restaurant, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's also got the Jurassic World sequel to game plan for it sometime. So I hope this movie gets made. It sounded fun when we talked about it originally, like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I hope it gets made at some point. I'd like to see it. And Chris Pratt sounds like the right choice for it. So I hope they can accommodate his schedule.
All right, what's next?
Caleb tweets, Gem and the Holograms was released at my local discount theater 2 weeks after its initial release. How do discount theaters choose movies?
I think they'll take whatever titles come out. I mean, really, the closer, for a discount theater, the closer you can get a movie in your theater to its opening actual release date, the better. And I'm pretty sure they're probably jumping up and down that it was pulled out of theater. So if there was anybody still out there morbidly curious about seeing Gem and the Holograms, there's the place to go. So, I mean, it's just whatever's available, really.
I feel so bad for that theater. They're like, I can't believe we got the movie. It's only 2 weeks after it was. Oh, it's Gem and the Holograms. Crickets, strange farm animals in the theater, a bum sleeping. He just won't leave. I've seen it 32 times. Get him out of here. Weird eviction notice. Theater gets shut down because of Gem and the Holograms.
This is a perfect situation for something that you know Soul, our buddy
totally.
Soul. He and I went on a spontaneous binger to Las Vegas to play some poker, and we didn't even get a hotel room. And so we thought, well, we need to sleep for a couple hours. Let's go to the movie theater, buy a couple of tickets. That gets us about 2 hours and 20 minutes of sleep time in a dark room.
What'd you see?
Gem and the Holograms.
Did you really?
No, we did not. But
That's
I
hilarious.
can't even remember what the one was. But
Yeah, well, that means you got some good sleep, so good on
2
you.
hours of sleep. All right, what's next?
Joey tweets, I hate when trailers show scenes that don't actually end up in the actual movie. How much of the Star Wars trailers will do this?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, I was at the Good Dinosaur premiere last night, so I was talking to some Disney reps. There is actually no character named Kylo Ren in the movie. There's some very odd
Strange marketing.
Yeah, very odd edit decisions made after they made the trailers. No, that is a big frustration to me. Like, we've talked about this maybe about 6 months ago. I get it, because a lot of time these trailers, they start getting put together like 6 months before the movie comes out. They're crafting and tailoring these trailers to be the best they can. And quite often, it's a no-fault situation where, they have all this footage available. The people responsible for putting the trailers together, they have all this footage available. They put together what they think is the best possible trailer they can. And then inevitably, at some point, something that appeared in that trailer gets cut out of the movie. There's that, and I get it. But then there's times that they make movies where they bring in the actress to say a line to put in the trailer that was never going to be in the movie in the first place, or a scene that got cut out of the movie a long time ago. I hate it when they do that, because that is just flat out false marketing. When you're showing us a shot in the trailer saying, this is what you're getting, and then we go in there and it's not even in the movie. One great example of this, Iron Man 2. Because the first trailer for Iron Man 2 was... it was Tony and Pepper in the back of the plane and giving the kiss and you complete me, blah, blah, blah. And then that wasn't in the movie. Like that final line, I think the you complete me line. There was some big significant part of that scene, because that scene is in the movie, but there's a significant part of that scene that's in the trailer that never got in the movie. And I was sitting in the theater going, what? Are you sure this scene's over? But so that happens and it bothers me a lot.
It doesn't bother me. I acknowledge that it happens, and I can't think of a movie off the top of my head where I saw a trailer and I say, oh, that scene, but it's not in the movie. But I know when it happens. Like instantly, as soon as the movie's over, I'm like, that wasn't in it.
Let me name one right off the top of my head. Fantastic Four. Everything in that trailer is
Oh
not
my
in the movie.
gosh, there's so
the
much
thing
in that trailer.
dropping from a helicopter, people firing at him, none of that's in the movie. Reed Richards talking to Dr. Doom, what's coming? Change is coming. That's not in the movie. Doom. All that stuff's not in the movie. So there's like
Change
a
is
lot
coming.
of whatever's
Doom running for president.
What's not in the movie? This trailer's not in the movie.
Yeah,
what
no,
you're
it was
watching right now
like
is not in the movie.
Literally half of the trailer.
Yeah.
Like them sitting, what's his ETA? 30 seconds. Hits the thing, hits the ground, boom. maybe sooner. Ha, ha.
Yeah.
None of that.
None of that's
None of it
in
was
the
in the
movie.
movie.
Now, I think that literally every frame of everything you've seen for Star Wars: The Force Awakens will be in the movie.
Except
I think
for
these
I could
trailers
already,
are too carefully
I could already
crafted.
tell you a shot that's different. So it's going to be either or, where Finn takes off his helmet and he's a stormtrooper. In the first trailer, it's from a far away 3/4 angle, zooming in when he takes the helmet off. In the second trailer, it's a close-up medium shot of him taking the helmet
No,
off.
he does it twice because there's a fly in there, and then he took it off, and then he put it back
Then
on.
he realized it was still in there.
Yeah.
He puts the helmet back on and then does it. So they're going to pick one of those two shots, and that's what's going to. The only difference I think that you'll see in any of the Star Wars footage is different shot selections.
angles, yeah.
Different angles. That's what you're going to get.
All right, what's next?
Michael tweets, the new AMC Prime Theater in Vernon Hills, Illinois is amazing. Do we know anything about the expansions of these theaters?
Yeah, and I feel better talking about these Prime theaters now that I don't work for AMC. AMC Prime is simply, now they are now called Dolby Cinema at AMC Prime, or at least they're rolling those out. Is simply the best movie-going experience I've ever had. I mean, I love, Dennis and I talk about it all the time, like that movie theater has spoiled us. Because now when a movie we want to see isn't in that one theater, and we got to go into another theater to see the movie we do want to see, even if it's a theater we've always enjoyed and liked, we go, this sucks. Like that sort of thing. If you have not, so their plan is, I think, to have several hundred AMC Prime theaters. They're rolling those out. And then to add the existing AMC Prime theaters, they're adding this Dolby Cinema at AMC Prime. I went and watched a movie in Dolby Cinema at AMC Prime. It's this new dual laser projection system they have. The absolute darkest blacks you've ever seen, which makes all the colors pop and all the colors that much more rich and sharp. And then they've got the Dolby Atmos system, sound system in there. It is a killer combination. So by all means, make sure you go, and if you've got one near you, check out a Dolby Cinema at AMC Prime when you get the chance. The rollout is still scheduled for over the next 2 years, I believe. So you're going to see more popping up. If you guys have both seen movies in the AMC Prime.
Sure.
Nope.
You still have
You
not
haven't?
yet.
Nope.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, you're a loser.
Come on. We can't. Ellis, you're not a loser.
You're a loser.
No.
You're not a
I'll
loser.
see you guys later.
No, don't go.
I guess I'm no good for
Sinead's
anyone.
just kidding.
Yeah, leave.
Damn.
Just kidding.
Right? Woo! Sinead's bringing them out today. All
Yeah,
right,
talking
what's
about hate
next?
ranch.
She hasn't had enough fluff today. Give her a break.
Loverboy tweets, is Austin Powers 4 happening?
I don't know. I mean, first somebody's got to talk Mike Myers into doing movies again. I mean, he took a beating over The Love Guru.
Yeah.
He took a real beating, and he took it very personally. And it was the first time in his career. I mean, he had done stuff that people didn't like Cat in the Hat and stuff like that.
Right.
That was fine, but he really got seriously blasted for something that was usually in his wheelhouse and something that a style that you think would be his strength. And unfortunately, instead of just bouncing back from him, coming out and putting out more stuff, I think he recoiled. I mean, it happened to George Lucas as well with the prequels and things like that. And we've seen him direct some documentaries now, which he apparently really enjoys. Yeah. But we've got to see him get in front of the camera. We need Michael Myers. I mean, he is just a comedic genius. Good Canadian kid, by the way. And we just need this guy. We need an Austin Powers 4. I absolutely want another Austin Powers. If we can get Zoolander 2, we can get Austin Powers 4. I'd love to see him take another crack at it, go back to what's a real strength of his, make everybody laugh again. And then I want to see him do something else. I've always wanted to see his So I Married an Axe Murderer 2, but whatever. So what about you guys? Have you guys heard anything?
Let's see him do sprockets.
That was a movie that was in development for a while.
I
That was
know.
one of the things
Actually,
that burned him on the studio
It's almost like a
system.
Jerry Lewis type thing. I know they shot a lot of that too, and there's a lot of weird stuff happened with that. But I think Michael Myers is a fantastic genius, and I want him to do an Austin Powers a 4th movie. I think he's got it in him, and whatever. I'm sure he's planning on doing it, and I'm very positive he will do it. It's just when. It's an issue of when and how. So, anybody who knows Michael Myers, please convince him that he's got a legion of fans who would love to see Austin Powers the 4th one.
I think you'll see it as well. I have a weird feeling you're going to see Austin Powers back on the big screen. He also directed that movie Superman, which was really good. It was a documentary that he directed that he was just passionate about, and it was well received. So that's good.
Superman,
He
yeah.
also did a recent, about a year ago, maybe appearance on Mark Maron's podcast WTF, and just kind of gives a whole breakdown of his career and talking about what he's up to now. So it's a really good listen.
I think the last time I saw him on screen, other than interviews, I think was in Inglourious Bastards. That might have been the last time I saw him.
He had a small part in something, and I just can't conjure what it is. But it's like you just wouldn't expect to see him in that movie, and it's not that big of a part. But it's not, again, it's not like an Austin Powers situation. Like I want to see him be the star of a movie.
Yeah, me too. All right, what's next?
Aaron tweets, is Deadpool in danger now because of Zoolander 2? Both open on the same day, and Deadpool is rated R.
No danger whatsoever. I mean, there is going to be a lot of similar demographic, but a lot of people are going to go see them both.
Yeah, it's in danger of a double feature, yo. I'm going to see both that night. Damn, that's a great double feature.
I mean, no matter what movie you open against, that movie is going to take some of your potential box office away. No matter what movie it is, even Star Wars is going to have some of its box office, however insignificant, is going to be siphoned off by chipmunks and by sisters.
Alvin!
Yeah,
And, sisters and chipmunks will take off a percentage. And I'm sure Zoolander will have some of its box office called off by Deadpool and vice versa. But that's what the film market is. That's what competition is. But I think you're going to get a lot of people who are interested. If you took a poll of 100 people who are really excited to see Deadpool, I bet a lot of them are excited about Zoolander 2 and vice versa as well. So I think both films are going to do just fine. Neither of these films are $100 million domestic movies, I don't think. But they're going to do well, especially for their budget. So how do you guys see it?
I'm going to see them both at AMC Prime, and Sinead's going to respect me, and she's going to want to go to the movies with me. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, no, you can't go.
Mark, I'll go see it with you in
I
Prime.
want to go with you. I want to go with Sinead.
All right, fine. I will go see it in Prime with you. Yeah, I'm going to see it. I didn't even know when Zoolander 2 was coming out, but now that I know that it's coming out the same day as Deadpool, I am going to see it as a double feature.
That's a double header,
That's
man.
it. Now I'm just trying to decide, do I see Zoolander 2 first and then Deadpool?
I think you go
or
Zoolander 2, then Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's more familiar.
Deadpool is definitely the headliner.
Yeah, that's
of the
one,
weekend.
the finishing, that's the dessert, and that's a,
Yeah.
all
I think
right.
Deadpool could do 100 million. I think there's
Really
there's an
think so?
outside chance.
Yeah,
I got
I-
to think about this more. I think it's got an outside chance because
I am
just
with you.
there's so much buzz about that movie right now. I think it could do it.
I'm going to say right now, live on National Everything, whatever this is called, streaming services of the
International.
United people.
Of the
Worldwide.
Americas.
Yeah, of the webs.
What's it going to make opening weekend?
I'm going to say it's going to make 123 million.
I'm going to say
I'm saying 123.
40.
Wow.
All right.
And I think Fox will be dancing
No, they'd be
with
happy.
40, yeah.
I'm going to say 84.
So right down the middle. All right. Okay, let's take two more quick.
Your guys' numbers are so random.
And are pretty much
84.
arbitrary. $70 billion.
Yeah, it's got to be $70 billion. Yeah. For you, Mike Myers.
All right. Fernando tweets, has there been any news on the Croods sequel?
Oh, actually, no. That was a really surprise. That movie looked like junk, and it looked like one of those movies that nobody was going to go see. And it just made money, and people kept going back, and a lot of people really liked the film. But I have not heard it. What have you guys heard? I'll look it up while you guys...
I know there's a sequel in the works, and it was a surprise hit when it came out. I love the movie. You know who's really looking forward to the Croods too is the ADR guys who get to work with Nicolas Cage.
Right.
To have that maniac come into a studio and just make him say whatever you want him to say all day, that's got to be a ball. I would invite my friends.
Yeah, I think they've already recorded the Croods too, so I know that part of it is done. So I just don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's got a release date of December 22nd, 2017. So
2017.
2017.
So we got 2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
2 years still comes. All right, last question of the day.
Jonathan wants to know, with the success of the Peanuts movie circulating, will it be easier to get a CGI Super Mario movie now?
Good question.
Everyone always asks about a Super Mario movie.
Here's the thing. Peanuts did well for Peanuts. I mean, what was its opening weekend
45,
box?
something like
yeah,
that.
I was going to say 40 to 45 million, which is good, but it's not. So it's not negatively going to affect the possibilities, but it's not good enough that would make another studio pop its head up and go, hey, let's get this Mario thing going. Like if it was like 80 million or 105 million or something like that Peanuts had made, then I think you'd be seeing a lot of wheels in motion for a lot of different properties, not just Mario. So I honestly don't think the performance of Peanuts will hurt or help the potential of a Mario animated thing at all. How do you guys see it?
I think it might be more directly related to the success of a Wreck-It Ralph, or if a Wreck-It Ralph sequel comes out and how well that does. And then Nintendo's like, yeah, we got to do Mario on its own, because Nintendo got so burned by the Super Mario Bros. Live action movie, they didn't want to license anything to anyone ever again. But something like Peanuts, or I think more particularly Wreck-It Ralph, could make them say, you know what, we could do this right if we do it in the animated world. I would love to see a Super Mario Bros.
That's
movie.
what I'm more interested in, is where the hell is Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Well,
I'm more interested
but
in that.
Wreck-It Ralph, the first one was a giant hit. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think they should have just taken their step from that to move into like doing some more animated Nintendo movies, like they're saying Mario Kart. Imagine a Mario Kart movie that's animated. There's enough people, just adults that I know, who cannot not play that game, like speeding around, like I've got a special purple mushroom. I'm throwing turtles at you. It's like people are addicted to that game.
There would definitely be a Mario Kart element to a Super Mario Brothers movie. There'd be, as much as I hate to admit it, you would probably have to put Yoshi in there, even though I think he's the most useless video game character of all time. And maybe they can finally explain that eternal question: why did Luigi wait for Mario to die before he went after the princess? Like, help your brother out, man. He's like, no, I'll wait to see that guy dies, then I'll hook up with the
all
princess.
that can be part of the soap opera known as Super Mario, the animated movie, coming in 2043, or whatever, when they finally get off their butts.
Okay, now, apparently 4 months ago in July, John C. Reilly did say in an interview that he had just signed on to do Wreck-It Ralph 2. So hopefully Wreck-It Ralph 2 wheels are in motion. All right, folks, that'll do it for us for today's installment of Collider Movie Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, don't forget, lots of great films playing at our friends over at AMC Theaters. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for all of your theater showtime and, of course, your movie ticket information. What's with the stupid-looking hairy face, or at least hairy by my standards, because I grow the facial hair of a 5-year-old child. Remember, it is No Shave November, raising awareness for cancer research. Please take a couple bucks today. Go to your favorite cancer research foundation and donate a couple of bucks to cancer research today. I want to thank the people sitting at the table with me. First of all, sitting over here on my left, Mr. Jon Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
Patiently waiting for Wreck-It Ralph 2, Q*bert's Redemption, because, he really got kind of screwed in pixels. So I'm like waiting to see. He's a good character. Don't give up on him. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, being an idiot. Just follow me at Jon Schnepp, and you can get my film, The Death of Superman Lives. What Happened? It's on Showtime right now, but if you want to get it, it just became rentable. I know everyone was like saying, when are you going to make it rentable? Go to my website, www.tdoslwh.com, and you can rent it right now. Support an independent film.
Just had an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Wreck-It Ralph 2 with the villain, an animated version of Fat Bastard as voiced by Mike Myers.
Oh, I love it.
There you go. There's your movie.
But
Boom.
and Q*bert helps.
And Q*bert helps. Not the Q*bert from Pixels.
Different Q*bert.
Different Q*bert.
Original Q*bert.
Also over here on my right, Mr. Mark Ellis. Mark, where can people find you?
You can see Mike Myers as a King Koopa character, too, or a Bowser, maybe. Throwing it out there. At 5150 Ellis on Twitter this weekend. I'm at the Omaha Funny Bone Friday through Sunday. They just added the Sunday show, so come out and see me a headline. And speaking of Super Mario Brothers, my stand-up album is called Get to the Castle. Very Mario themed. You can get it on iTunes.
Nice.
And, of course, our lovely host today, Miss Sinead DeFries. Sinead, where can people find you and your pizza sweater online?
I'm online on Twitter and Instagram at Sinead DeFries. I'd also like to take this time to apologize to Mark Ellis for being...
Don't do that! He
I'm
needs to be
sorry.
knocked down a peg or two.
I'm really sorry. Yeah, everyone on Twitter said I was being a savage.
Don't pretend. Don't pretend you don't say...
Whatever that means.
Don't pretend you don't say 10 times worse things to him before the studio.
Yeah.
Well, the
Before
camera's
the
on,
cameras
so
roll.
for now, I'm going to put a smile on my face and apologize to Mark
All I'm
Ellis.
saying is the Collider Sadie Hawkins dance is in a couple months, so the girls ask the guys. Just putting it out
I'm
there.
not kidding. Like 2 minutes before the cameras roll, like he's in tears. She's like has him crying in the corner. We have to pull him out.
We got a great makeup team here. Thank you guys for all you do.
Philippa, thank you. I got the sponge in the back filled with his tears.
I like that we hired a guy named Philip and Felipe. It's kind of random. Isn't that?
Hey, they're brothers. They usually work in a video game. They're like, one guy dresses in red, the other guy dresses in green.
And most of all, thank you to you guys for joining us here today. Make sure you leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below. My name is Jon Campea. You can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook simply at Jon Campea. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys, and until tomorrow, bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.